Welcome back to the xandosports Show. This is episode 7. Before we get started, I would like to give a shout out to my good friend that runs New Me Productions, Michael Smith. Got to be on one of his episodes today. We also did the Plug Manifest, episode 2. So be sure to check that out. But we're going to hop right into it tonight. Let's talk about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, his contract is out, and it's a huge one. I don't think the Cowboys got what they wanted, but he got what he wanted. He always said that he wanted no longer than a 4-year deal because he's like 27 right now. So by the time that deal is over, he's like 32. So it's a good thing. He got 4 years, $160 million. Whew. 160 for 4 years. And no one said that he's worth $40 million. Looked like the Cowboys thought differently. He was signing a $66 million signing bonus. And he will also have an annual salary of $40 million. One thing that helped Dak out, everybody's like, oh, he's not that good. He also didn't get injured. He played well. He got 3 NFC titles from my understanding. 3 out of 5 years. That's not bad at all. But he hasn't got them over the hump, but he could have done worse. One thing that helps is being available. He was always available. Last year was the one fluke in his career that he was not available because he broke and dislocated his ankle. So other than that, I mean, we're going to use Carson Wentz as an example. Several games out through his career. Jared Goff missed some games last year. And I want to say he missed some a couple years ago too. But one thing that helps out that he was winning, being efficient. You don't have to put up Patrick Mahomes numbers every year to be a good quarterback. He's better than a game manager. And he's not that number one slot, but I think he'll get there. But like I said, he got a couple NFC titles. If the Cowboys feel like after that 4 years that we don't want to sign him to another big time deal, I'm pretty sure if he plays well and at least get them to the NFC title game at least once, somebody's going to sign him to another big deal. However, they're doing a lot of restructuring around the NFL, so he has a couple players already restructuring their deal, the wide receiver, to get them underneath the cap. That helps because those guys get to stay on the team. So let's say if some miracle strikes, the planets line up, and the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. He only has to win 1 or 2 to be probably a Cowboy for life. If they release him out of that, then that's his foul play. Speaking of quarterbacks, there's still a stalemate with the Texans. They have not requested or took any phone calls for trades. No signs of a trade, and all of it has mostly just been speculation. Deshaun Watson has been pretty quiet about his intentions and what is going on, but he did let them know he ain't coming back. So rumor is that they're going to get a guy to bridge until he comes back or until they find another guy. If I had to guess, like I said, this is only off speculation of my opinion. I think they're going to get someone like Ryan Fitzpatrick, bring him in. He's going to run the offense well. Looks like they're bringing in Mark Ingram, so they're going to have a good running game. He's pretty good in the passing game. So they'll have an efficient offense to actually put out there on Sundays. Now, will they be able to win? That's a different story. However, if they do go at least, 6-10 without him, that's not terrible because they went 4-12 with them last year. I think they're going to try to teach him a lesson and make him hold out. If he doesn't play, he's going to get fined. He's going to eventually lose a lot of that money that he was supposed to get signed. But, if it's not about money, he's going to sit out. But I think, we're going to see. Also, with the Watson thing, I think they're in a stalemate because these guys are going to sit back on their heels like, we're going to see who makes the move first. Watson, I hope you saved your money because they're going to find you a lot. But they get a good veteran in there to execute while he's away until they can make up and, shake hands. The Texans are going to be in trouble. But I would like to give a special shout out as well to Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall and the House of Athlete facility actually held a combine. It's about 5 hours long, so I'm not gonna lie. I did skip to the good part. But the combines are really good for athletes that are really good, but they haven't had the opportunity to showcase their skill. So let's say if you played 2 or 3 years, very talented, but you got banged up your last year, so nobody really got a lot of tape on you. You go to the combine, show your skill, run a good 40. I guess it depends on what position you play. You play in defensive end and drop a 4.5 or 4.4, you can drafted by somebody. But the combine gets to show the skill of some athletes that haven't gotten known yet. Prime example, everybody didn't watch ECU football. But when Chris Johnson went to the combine and dropped that 4.24, he was on everybody's radar after that. So I'm glad that Brandon Marshall was able to pull it off and get some athletes noticed, because everybody's not going to have a big pro day. Like Travis Etienne, he weighed in 15 pounds heavier, and he ran that 4.40. He was moving. I'm curious of who's going to draft him. That'll be a very good addition to anybody's offense. He can catch, he can run, and he's got a little thicker so he can run between the tackles. Also, one team that stood out in the free agency outside of the Cowboys, I don't know what they're doing. I hope they know what they're doing, but I'm gonna be very curious and closely watching them. The Chiefs decided that they're going to cut their losses with their left and their right tackle, released them both. You got handed to you. You got your what handed to you in the Super Bowl. These two guys were out. So you're going to release them and replace them with who? Because clearly the guys you already had weren't good enough. You're not going to be playing against the Bucs every week, but a 6'8" tackle is not growing on trees. I know he had an Achilles injury or whatever. He can come back from that. He's good on his feet. He's still young. Like I said, I don't understand that at all. But once he heals up, he will be somebody's top tackle. The guy was pretty good, Fisher. The right tackle, they cut him too. So now you got a premier quarterback, but he's going to look very pedestrian when he ain't got his guys to block for him. He's not going to be able to throw those 40 to 60-yard throws down the field with Tyreek Hill. He's got to be able to get that ball out quick if they don't replace those two tackles with some good talent. I hope they do not pull that Russell Wilson crap that they've been doing for years in Seattle, just putting guys there and, he can figure out the rest. You can call all the line slides you want, but if they can't block it, it's not going to matter. Goodness gracious. Poor Patrick Mahomes. I'll be looking for you and praying for you that you don't get, knocked around too much this year. You're going to earn that $450 million over 10 years. Good news and bad news. Good news is Cam Newton signed a 1-year deal with the Patriots. That's good news because he gets his second year in that system. The first year was kind of like he's kind of filling it out. They're trying to fill it out, what he can do well and what he can't do. I watched him throw right many games, and it looked like he was taking a dump every time he tried to throw the ball across the field. He can still throw it deep, but he's never been that accurate down the field. But a lot of those medium to intermediate throws, he were not accurate on. And I'm just like, geez, dude, are you hurt? If so, please get off the field. So good thing is he gets to redeem himself from that last terrible season. However, if he stinks it up again, go home, Cam. I don't want to see you in this shape anymore. If you play like you did last year, I think this should be your last year. That's just my opinion, but, we'll see. Also, with Cam Newton, are they going to start calling plays that he ran in Carolina with a lot of the run stuff? I really would like to see somebody get in his corner and back him so that he can start to develop a better throwing motion. He's been throwing the same way for the past 10 years. He looks like he's throwing a shot put instead of a football. If he transfers his weight from his back foot to his front foot on an intermediate throw and steps to the left or steps to the right on those out routes, I promise you, Cam, you would go from being an average quarterback to very, very good. Now they have to defend the entire field instead of just the center part where they think that you're going to throw at. Because you did not show that you could throw outside the numbers last year. Most of your throws were completed down the seams. And those intermediate in and out breaking routes, what we call option routes. So, Cam, I hope you're working on your arm strength this year. Arm strength wasn't bad, but I don't know if you was tired and those games throwing the ball a lot more than normal. You got to get it together. Rooting for you, kid. Also, other sports. We got college basketball. Conference tournaments is coming. Duke appeared to have forfeited the conference title game because of COVID. That kind of sucks. I don't remember the last time I ever seen the ACC tournament without Duke actually competing. Not winning, but just more or less competing. But, sorry, Dukies. Maybe next year. March Madness is coming up, so make sure you get your brackets ready. Remember one year, I forgot who hosted it, but it was $1 billion bracket. I'm not going to lie. I didn't take it serious. Me and a friend put a bracket together, and she did a pretty good job. I picked all the teams that are like, okay, this team's going to beat this team because they're bigger, more physical. She just went with UNC because that was her team. And we almost won the entire bracket. I think it was Villanova versus UNC in the title game. Even though I got all the other ones wrong as well as that person as well. But UNC almost won. So we still would have split $7 million a piece despite filling out that bracket. Unfortunately, we got a heartbreaker with that three-pointer at the end. And Villanova got a title. Granted, I thought it was funny and I cried for at least 5 minutes because I could have been a millionaire. But, after FICA, who knows? They probably would have took over half of it anyway. But as for the NBA this week, I caught a good game this week. I watched some others. Sometimes, guys play. But the Celtics and the Nets, they played some defense the other night. They scored as usual. But I was very impressed with the Nets. They were battling for rebounds. They were scrapping for loose balls. It looked like a playoff basketball game. I saw James Harden play defense, people. James Harden. We're talking about Mr. Can't guard his own shadow, James Harden. Holy moly donut shop. James Harden, good job this week. I was very impressed. No Kevin Durant, and you guys figure out a way to lock up the Celtics. Whew, that's going to be scary when Kevin Durant gets back. If you guys could play defense and keep people under 110 points, and you're putting up 130 a night, I still don't think they're going to beat my Lakers. But, it will be very interesting. Very interesting. Also be on the lookout for spring baseball. They are starting the spring games, which, some of them are okay, but I don't think guys will really be into it like that because it's spring. They try not to get injured. But go Phillies. Big Phillies fan. I hope Bryce Harper gives me $33 million worth of season this year. If you're getting $33 million over the next 13 years, I need to at least get, maybe 35 home runs this year. Maybe get us a playoff berth. Get those Braves off our back for once. It's kind of embarrassing, but Bryce, I'm going to need you to step up this year. I know the other guys are not doing what they're doing. You are swinging the bat. One year we had great defense, but no bats. Then we get Bryce Harper, and we go vice versa. We don't have no guys to play defense. So maybe this third year we will get it together. But also I will be watching the Dodgers as well. I want to see Mookie Betts. I've been watching Mookie Betts since he played for the Boston Red Sox. He made a play one year for you, non-baseball fans. I'm going to try to elaborate on it. He was running to the foul line because he plays right field. He catches it simultaneously and spins out, throws the guy out at second from over 150 feet away. Dude got a cannon. And when someone can throw you out from that far out, your defense gets that much better. And he can swing the bat pretty decent too. So shout out to Mookie Betts. You made baseball a lot more interesting. And the fact that you're with the Dodgers, now you're in a big time market, so you're going to get seen a whole lot more. We also will be having a NASCAR race on Sunday. I'm going to try to check that out. I think it's the one in Phoenix. And rooting for Bubba. If you're going to be racing this weekend, good luck. I started watching him, I think 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, well, let me find somebody that, remotely looks like me. And I found him, man. He's not bad. I used to pull for Dale Earnhardt back in the day. And, fortunately, I think it's like 2001 he passed on the track. Then I started watching his son, but I couldn't keep up with his son because he changed cars like every so often. From Dr. Pepper to like Allstate. But like I said, they were always interesting, the big name guys. Jeff Gordon. I think I bought his car as a kid, he's a pretty good racer. But yeah, I'm trying to get into the NASCAR. I only do like 20 laps. I'm more of a Formula One type guy myself. I have watched those. I actually tried to purchase a ticket to go there in Mexico. Yeah, the ticket was like $8,000. So I was like, nah, not yet. But I do like Formula One racing because it kind of reminds me of the cars that I drive, on my street. Got a couple of toys. But let's go over some basketball tonight. NBA got some games tonight. We got the Heat. The Heat is playing the Bulls tonight. They're up 81-72. Jimmy Butler is. Let's go and get this a little closer. Jimmy Butler, 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. And he is playing against his old team, which is the Bulls. And Zach LaVine is out there cooking for 25, 4, and 2. Not bad, Zach. Let's see, can you pull this off? The Magic is getting killed by the Spurs, 64-83. DeJounte Murray got 15 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. And Nikola Vucevic is 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists, even though they're getting smoked. The Rockets in the second quarter, nothing new there. They're losing again, 32-47. Donovan Mitchell so far in the second quarter has 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. So let's go Donovan. The Pacers are playing against my Lakers tonight. Yeah, we're down right now, 10-13. It's early in the first quarter. McKeith Morris is leading all scorers for the Lakers with 3 points. Malcolm Brogdon is leading Indiana with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Still early. The 76ers killed the Washington Wizards tonight. Joel Embiid had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Russell Westbrook had a good standout, 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists, with a loss of 26 points. Hopefully, Joel Embiid is not injured bad. He did suffer a slight knee injury tonight, so he will be getting an MRI. And I think he was on a pace to at least be a runner-up for the MVP if he didn't win it. So let's hope that for basketball's sake that he is not injured. The Nuggets are up 103. Oh, no, they actually beat the Grizzlies 103-102. Brandon Clark had 20 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. And unfortunately, that was a close game. Goodness gracious. Whew. 103-102. Heartbreaking. Because I want to say the way it was looking, they came out strong in the first quarter. And they lost the second and third quarter. But they were all close. And the Grizzlies almost came back with a 25-22 fourth quarter. Oh, the Cavaliers are next. Quentin Cook had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Brandon Ingram had a great 28, 7, and 4. That was a pretty stellar game, Brandon Ingram. I think you're on your way to being a pretty great player. I remember he was a Laker. And I would tell people he's not as bad as he look. But I try to tell individuals he can't play with LeBron because he's kind of like a more athletic Carmelo Anthony at the time. He's an isolation player, but he can play. He can ball. LeBron needed the ball in his hands, so Brandon Ingram could never really get his rhythm. Now he's with New Orleans. He has a wingman with Wilmston, and he can actually shoot that thing. So I think he got some good pieces. If they can string some games together, they may just make the playoffs this year. I think that league is wide open. Right now, if you're looking at the standings, as a matter of fact, let's look at the full standings. Because I know Milwaukee is... that's not good. So Anthony Davis is still out at least 2 more weeks. But he was cleared of that calf injury. I still don't think it's a calf. I think it's his Achilles, but we're going to see. But as of right now, the standings in the East, the 76ers are up by 1 game over Brooklyn Nets. And the West, it's a little interesting. Utah Jazz are up by 2 games over the Phoenix Suns. And my Lakers are 24-13 in the 3rd slot right now. I don't think we'll have to get the number 1 slot. No offense to the Jazz. I don't fear them. So I don't mind playing them in the 2nd round. One team I do not want to play in the 1st round is the Dallas Mavericks. Oh man, that kid for Dallas, I just never get a good vibe from him. Like I just feel like he's gonna drop 50 on us. I just feel like Luka Doncic is a light skinned James Harden. He can give you 50 any night, and if he hits you with that, go to the left, step back. Yeah, he's gonna hit that thing more than 50% of the time. So that was for basketball tonight. I heard this conversation the other day, and Shannon Sharp was talking about it, and I was just like, I guess writers are running out of stuff to talk about. They had the meme, and they want to see how people react to it. So you guys ready? LeBron James, Kevin Durant versus Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Who in God's green earth thought that was a good idea? Like, the only scenario I could picture LeBron and Kevin Durant losing to Magic and Larry Bird if they played Make It, Take It, and Larry Bird got hot and never missed. Like, that's the only, because I don't feel like Larry Bird can defend Kevin Durant. I feel like he's too athletic for Larry Bird. You know, they play in a different era, but I feel like the athleticism is just way different. If he had to check LeBron, I think he would play bully ball. LeBron is going to back him down and be physical with him probably all night. That's what I would do anyway if I'm, 6'8", 250. I think that Kevin Durant would have had problems with Magic's length, but I think he would have shot his eyes out. I mean, that's just me personally. I'm a big fan of Magic because I'm a Lakers fan, but I didn't like the way somebody set that matchup up. That didn't look good at all, and I was like, that was a total wash. Like, I don't even think that should have been a conversation. I did like the one when they had Kobe, Steph Curry at point, LeBron at the 3, Shaq at the 4, and I want to say Kevin Durant. No, Shaq at the 5 and Kevin Durant at the 4. And Shaq said no one would ever beat that team. And I feel like with all that firepower, if you did match up against them, who are you going to guard first? Steph could shoot it from half court, so good luck with that. Kobe's is a killer. LeBron, if you give him the lane, he's going to take it. Shaq is just going to dominate anybody that stands in his way. And Kevin Durant's going to be over there in the corner or in the wing shooting threes all night. So it's going to be a 200-point game. But I try my best to get out 2 episodes this week. Hopefully we can get the second one out by Sunday. We're supposed to get the first one out on Wednesday, but unfortunately it's allergy season and it was killing me. So you guys pray for us people to have allergies. And with that being said, tonight, be sure to follow us on X&O Sports on IG, XO Sports Talk on Twitter, and well as X&O Sports on Facebook. This is your host, Ricky Stanley, and we are out of here.